Yeah. So this is how to post for your cosplay. Go ahead and hit the thing for me. Yes. Good. So you're probably asking, who the heck are these people? Well, we are Lovelies Cosplay. My name is Shauna.
I'm Joanna. Hello.
We've been cosplaying for over 10 years. We've kind of grown up in theater and all of that kind of stuff, but really focused on cosplaying about 10 years ago. So we've been trying to up our game ever since. And you know, as any cosplayer will tell you, that is an ongoing adventure. So we also have a Facebook page. It is Lovelies Cosplay on Facebook. So please go ahead and, if you want, you're going to see some of our pictures, obviously, but there's plenty there that you're not seeing. So if you like the photos that you're seeing and you want to see more stuff by us, please go on to Lovelies Cosplay.
All right.
So, is this you?
Whenever someone asks to take a picture of you at a convention, you totally want to show off your cosplay, but you just don't know what to do.
I've researched my character's main poses. There aren't any.
Or they're really difficult to do.
They're really difficult to do.
Or you just want to improve your photography with cosplay. You want to make your pose look better, so when you look back at that memory, you have something that you really felt bumped up your game. So if this is you, then you're not alone.
See? You're not alone.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Go ahead, next one.
Okay. So we're going to talk first, we're going to talk about lighting.
You touched the thing. Step forward.
I might have touched the thing.
You touched the thing. Okay, you're good.
I'm just going to say, this is not about sound. We're not doing engineering.
Lighting.
So we're talking about lighting first and foremost. This is a huge thing. Now, if you're dealing with photographers, they're probably going to have flashes and things that will help with your lighting, so you don't have to worry so much with them. However, if you're walking through the con and somebody's like, oh my gosh, great cosplay, can I take a picture? And they're doing it with their iPhone or whatever. You don't want icky con floor lighting. This kind of lighting
is not so good.
Sucks.
If this is the only lighting you have available, then go ahead and go with it, but do the best you can to make sure the light is on your face. We'll talk more about that in a second. Mm-hmm. But if you have any way possible at all, go outside.
Yes.
Or go to a place
or
where
at
you
least
have natural light
face
on you.
a window. Don't have the window behind
Don't have
you.
the window behind
Okay.
you. That's called backlighting, and then it shadows your entire face. You look like a silhouette, which is really cool for mood lighting if that's what you're going for. But most of the time,
it's very artsy, but most of the time you want to be able to see the front of the costume.
Yeah.
So have the light coming towards your face. Obviously, you can see in this that lighting is so important. It's going to set your mood. This one down here, spooky as hell, right?
Because lighting's coming from below.
And you can see where the lighting is coming from in these pictures and how it changes your face. So please make sure that you're getting as much natural lighting as possible. But, senpai, it's too bright outside.
I look like a zombie in this.
I look like a zombie right now. That's awesome. So when you go outside, don't be like directly in the harsh sun. It's going to wipe you out. It's going to make you look like duh. And you're just going to, you're not going to have any sort of shadow to your face. You're going to have like a flat, you'll be like flat Stanley. It'll be really weird. So make sure you get in some shade. Get in an overhang, get around trees, some kind of shade. That way you're getting the natural lighting, but it's not so hard. And if you have light-sensitive eyes, hi, me. Have someone count off. It's a photographer or a friend or whatever. Have them count off. 1, 2, 3. Have your eyes closed while they're counting. And then on 3, just open your eyes nice and soft. Don't be like, because it's going to look weird. But open it nice and soft, and it keeps your eyes from hurting so much if you have that light sensitivity.
Now, if you are, hold on.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
If you're wearing a hat, a white-brimmed hat, like CL is over here for his pirate Halloween costume, if you're in the direct sunlight, especially if the sun is overhead, if it's like noon or 1 or 2 or 11 o'clock, then that sun's going to come down, it's going to shade half your face, and it looks awful. So you can tilt your hat back just a little bit, or if you move your entire body into the shade or the overhang, like I said, then your entire face is in the same level of shade, but you're still getting that natural light from around.
This goes for umbrellas and parasols as well.
Tilt them back not directly overhead.
So, now let's talk posture. Posture, good posture, makes you look tall and makes you look strong. It gives you all of the nice, lovely curves that you want. It slims the ones that you kind of don't want there.
And makes you look more masculine if that's also what you're going for.
And it also makes you not look tired and bored.
So
if you normally stand the way you normally stand, for a photo, after you get it back, you look slouchy. You look
this is
totally
comfortable. Yeah, this is posture.
That's posture. Okay? Having it up, thinking very tall, having shoulders back, down. Yeah? Great posture really is like the foundation of your posing for your cosplay.
And when we're talking posture, and this goes for your entire cosplay pose, as we get more and more into this, you'll realize there's a lot of elements and it can get overwhelming to think all about it at once. So if you think one aspect at a time, whenever I think of cosplay posing, I will go, okay, feet, knees, where do I want my butt, my hips, my ankles, okay, and then I want my shoulders, back and down.
Head, where do I want it?
Neck,
hands,
and
go from bottom up.
You know.
Yeah. So great posture really helps. Little tip on this though. This picture was taken quite a while ago. If you're on the con floor, take a moment to take off your tag. At where I was, they give out ribbons. And the ribbon becomes this huge long thing, which is what you're seeing going down my dress there, okay? It's not a scarf, it's not even supposed to be there. So take a moment, hide the tag, tuck it, put it in a pocket, something.
Hand it to a photographer, hand it to a friend.
That way your photo looks amazing. And then you flip it right back on and you're ready to go. So you won't.
Another thing we can talk about, and we didn't talk about this with lighting like we usually do, but whenever you are getting a shoot, a photograph in the middle of the con hall, you want to move over to the side.
Yeah.
You don't want to be right in the middle, especially if you're in the vendor hall or artist's alley. You're right in the middle of the flow of traffic and you're blocking someone's booth that they worked so hard on. So say, yeah, sure, you can take a picture of me. Come on over.
Why don't we go outside? Why don't we move to a
background?
Yeah. Why don't we move to a background that works?
Not here because there's lighting backlighting me, and not over here because there's this weird telephone. But this kind of works.
There you go.
Right? Sorry. I'm over here away from the camera.
Good.
Wow, Brill's so sassy.
I know he really is.
I like being bossy. So some do's and don'ts. Do give yourself some negative space.
Yay, Shane.
Don't put your arms at your sides. Gaps are going to be the key to how slender you appear. So, this is what we see most often. Can I take a picture of you?
Sure.
This is still really fairly good posture, which is great, okay? But look, she looks really boxy, okay? If stand as a girl for right now, okay? Doing, well,
I don't know.
there you go. There you go. That's better. It's really hard to do in a Sebastian costume. You automatically want to go guy. You're giving yourself negative space here because one, your arms aren't flat. Your muscle in your arm is not flattened against your body, making your arm look bigger than it actually is.
Displaces the fat in the muscle.
But you're also giving yourself this so we can see the curve. We can see the curves in these areas. So gaps, having hands out, moving around and having some form of a gap really helps you out when it comes to posing.
Now take a look at this. If I were to do a pose like this, this is fun, but no gap. Now think about this. You can all see things in 3D. A camera lens can't. It is a single 2D frame, like this. So what does that look like from here?
It looks like you don't have,
myself. Open it up.
Now you've got gap, negative space.
I'm opening up my body. You can see more of my cosplay. I'm making a more dynamic photo.
Even so, earlier this week at SNAFU, we dressed as Adam's Family, and I was doing Wednesday, and she was doing Pugsley. Now Pugsley is a boxy character,
a fat round boy.
So yeah, but
I stood like that to try and make myself look boxy. So I did the opposite of what you're supposed to do. I gave myself less negative space to make myself look boxier.
Okay.
So if you're playing a character like that that's a little bit rounder and chunkier, you can totally use that to your advantage.
Absolutely. Do angle yourself from the camera. By placing part of your body behind you, you're going to look slimmer. So, for right now, boys, we'll get to you in a second, and girls playing male cosplays, we'll get to you in a second. But feminine cosplays. What you need to do, instead of being straight on at the camera, what you want to do is go 45. So turn 45. Now I've got half of my junk that's in my trunk way behind, and they can't even see it. Okay? The rest of it is all in posture. This is going to look nice because of the posture. Okay? And I'm going to make all of those gaps happen. So having not straight on like Pugsley, flat, but having it to the side, having it 45 really helps. Boys, we'll get to where you go later. Male characters, we'll get to you.
Wait, we have a question.
Wait,
Yes.
no, more of a quick note. Like when it comes to like female postures, one thing I also suggest doing is actually have one weight on like one leg, so you can actually accentuate the hips a bit more.
Yes. Yes. So he was saying having one weight on one of your legs, so you could pick up the other leg and move it if you wanted to. You wouldn't. But that way, it's making your hips move. Even if you're doing it this way, that weight is on my back leg, which is making this shape happen. So I want to accentuate that, so negative space. Moving this hand out, moving it over here, okay? Yeah?
This is the bane of my existence.
Yes.
This was my biggest problem for years. I have a double chin, and so I would always lift my chin to try and elongate that and get rid of the double chin look. This is not what you do. We actually have a better trick to help you get rid of that double chin that we'll show you later. It is so important that unless you're doing a specific artsy shot for a different purpose, you want your face parallel to the camera lens. If the camera's coming from down here, you want to keep your face parallel. If the camera's coming from up here, you keep your face parallel.
Now, does this mean you have to have your face straight on? No.
No, you can
You
tilt.
can still have it to the side. You can still be playing with it. But the more parallel you get with that camera, the better it's going to be. Yeah?
And the reason for that is this. Whatever is closest to the camera lens is what is going to look bigger. So if I were to do this, stick my chest out and put my head back to look amazing, now my chest
This
looks
is huge.
humongous.
This is tiny.
My chin is big, and my forehead and my eyes are super small. I look like a weird alien.
Yeah.
And of course, maybe that's what you want. But most of the time, that's not what you want. You want to stick your chest out, but you want your shoulders back, and you want your neck forward as well.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. But you want your face parallel with that camera lens, and you want it sticking out so it can catch all of your features equally, and you look more symmetrical.
You guys are my senior pictures.
So, do barely touch your face.
Or your hip, or
Or
whatever.
your hip, or whatever, unless your character's calling for it. So, in these
don't go far
pictures,
down
Sam Winchester, gender bent Sam Winchester over here, if I actually put my hand on my face, it's going to move my cheek up.
The cheek
And I'm
muscles
going
and
to
that and
look
everything.
really weird. Okay? You got it what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, same with Picard. The makeup on that took forever. I don't want to mess it up by putting my oily, gross hands on my face. So what I want to do is just barely touch my face. Now, are there characters that would actually move
Super cute
and
little fairy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there are always exceptions to the rule, but mostly barely touch your face.
That goes for your
Barely
hips
move
as
your
well.
hips, yeah.
Don't put your weight on your hips there.
You're still displacing muscle.
I'm holding up my arms with their own muscles, and I'm
Barely
setting
putting
it there.
Yeah?
Setting it there. Setting it there.
So, you want to avoid that double chin, don't you? Yes. Yes, you do. So here's what you do.
Like that.
Boom.
It looks like a giraffe. You feel weird, and from this angle it looks weird. But remember where the camera is. From here, from the camera, it doesn't look weird.
No.
And it gets rid of that
So what
double
you're
chin.
doing is you're putting your shoulders back just a bit more, especially if there's one shoulder that's closest to the camera. You're putting that one back just a titch more than before. And now you're going to not bring up your chin. You're bringing out your chin. Kind of like a giraffe goes and gets a leaf, okay? Seriously. So it's that.
See, from
that
here it
looks
looks amazing.
It looks, and it feels weird, okay? It feels really weird, but you'll know your good picture if you have your neck outstretched, yeah?
That's another thing, how she said, you were just talking about shoulder. If you're doing this thing, and you've got your shoulder there, you want to open that shoulder up. Again, show off that cosplay, show off your body, show off your face. Unless you have a really cool cosplay that you worked a lot on the back. I did a Toothless cosplay once that had a lot of wings and stuff. Yeah. I wanted to show off the back. You can do a couple poses like this where your back is completely to it, but most of the time the photographer wants to see your face. So you can show off one pose like this, but the rest of them, you can kind of turn and then do some from straight on in the front as well.
Yeah. So, do the 3-click pose when you're working with the photographer. This is going to ensure that you're going to get the angle you want. 3-click pose means you get in the position you want, and you go 1, 2, 3. You're doing just three different slight movements with a head or moving a prop slightly to get what you need. Now, most photographers, especially ones that might be in this room right now, will tell you if you move, if you keep moving, even if it's slightly, if you keep moving, they'll keep clicking.
Whenever you hear the click of the shutter, move again.
Okay? But generally, you can probably get what you're wanting in a 3-click pose. So you're keeping that pose and just moving one little section, whether it's the gun or the face or whatever, just before you go into the next pose. Yeah?
All right.
Did you have a question? You good? Ange? Good. Okay. Create movement.
So beautiful.
This is such a beautiful picture. So this Mandalorian's actually been here at SNAFU. He's creating diagonals to help show the movement. It gives such a beautiful dynamic to the photo. Instead of having that boxy look, it's giving this beautiful diagonal and these beautiful lines that make it work really well. And what really helps this situation, yes, is the legs of where he's at, but it's also that hand in the back that is continuing that line. That is what is making it so beautiful. So, to do this, you need to really exaggerate your lines. If you're going to lean, you need to really lean. So
it's
the first
a little
time I
bit
did this,
painful, but it only lasts for a second or two. If you want a really good photo that'll last forever, use those core muscles, use those leg muscles, use the arm muscles, and get the shot.
So the first one, I'm leaning, and it feels like a normal lean where I would be comfortable. And the second one, I really leaned as far as I could until it was slightly uncomfortable, to the point where I was like almost shaking.
But doesn't it look so much better?
But it looks because the line is so much more exaggerated that the movement looks better and it looks more dynamic for the photo. Do tell a story. So, you get with friends. Let's do a cosplay shoot. We don't have a professional photographer. Don't matter. Get with friends and get your iPhone out. Your iPhone can do a fun little burst. Or any kind of smartphone.
I don't know how many
can do a fun little burst,
but I know the iPhone does. If you just hold down the photo button,
it takes like a zillion pictures a second.
And then
so
you
what
can
you
choose
do,
which one you want.
What you do to get these kind of shots, like punk pan flying off, is you just jump. You say, okay, 1, 2, and on 3 the person starts pushing it, and you jump, and that's it.
It takes like 79 pictures, and then you choose one to delete the rest.
Exactly. When it comes to this photo up here, Phoenix is taking Tony Stark's drink. The first one is a stagnant pose. It was held. It was held there, right? The second one is where we use the burst. Okay, and the way we did it was Phoenix got in the pose, stayed exactly where she wanted to go. Tony just went and threw the drink just a little bit to go up into the air. Burst that photo, flip, 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 flip. That's the photo. You have it. Okay?
Posing with props.
Yay!
Biggest thing ever.
Props are fantastic. It adds to your character. It helps you know what to do with your hands in a photo sometimes. Because sometimes doing this kind of thing, you feel
This is the biggest problem people see. I've got a cool gun. I'm going to point it right at the camera. Right at the camera. Right at the camera because it looks cool. I have a sonic screwdriver.
I'm going to go down the barrel of my gun. Yeah?
It's a great thought, but it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Okay?
Remember, whatever is closest to the camera is what's going to look huge. So now your face looks tiny, the barrel of your gun looks huge, and you can't see the length of your gun. All you see is this big round hole thing. And you don't see all that beautiful work you spent making the gun or buying the gun or whatever you want. So don't do that. It's called foreshortening.
So instead of doing that, you're going to want to turn it to the side. You're going to want to go diagonal. At the very least, you're going to want to tilt it
down a bit.
Okay? That way we're still seeing the gun, but we're seeing the barrel of the gun, your arm all the way up.
And you're making
we're still seeing your face, okay? Yeah. You're good. Go backward. There you go. So this is an example of foreshortening. This lovely cosplayer has her hand out. It's black, her long black glove, so we can't even see her hand. It looks like she has a void at the end of her arm. So, and how to fix this is turn it to the side. Now we can see all of her arm, and we're not getting that foreshortening problem. Okay? Go ahead. These are other examples that we were talking about. So, down, right there.
Don't do that.
Down the barrel of the gun. Look at my eyes. How big are they? Look at the barrel of the gun. Right? Isn't that weird? It's really weird looking. So instead of doing that, turn it to the side.
Or down. Or
yeah. So having this shot right here is very artsy, but it shouldn't be your only shot. It shouldn't be your only pose. Because it's kind of offset and it's doing this weird thing. Having it to the side helps, because now you can see your face, okay?
And
also,
notice is doing a wonderful thing with the rose. He's bringing it down a bit so you can still see the length of the arm.
Yeah, and the stem of the rose. Also notice line of movement,
and there's that negative space.
That's why that looks so cool, okay? You see what we're seeing now? You're starting to see what we've been talking about? Yeah?
Right,
Yes.
next one.
Okay, good. So, using a prop that has a blade. If you've ever used a blade before of any kind, you're wanting this part to come and slice your opponent.
And you want that really cool action shot, so you bring the blade down this way. It doesn't work for
your picture not going to work. You want to think edge up.
You lose it. You don't
get that flat edge.
Thing.
Get that flat edge showing so we actually see. Oh, that is a katana. Oh, those are throwing knives, okay? Not only this one, but this one too. Okay? Tilting that just a little bit is going to help. So have you ever seen a photographer do this? They get on the ground. Yep, I know this guy does it, okay?
Yep.
They get on the ground, they get up on a ladder, they're on a chair, and you're like, what are you doing?
They work their butts off to get great shots. So props to photographers. They work hard. They study a long time to know what they're doing.
I just saw a photo come across my feed the other day of this guy who actually climbed up high into a tree to take a picture of a wedding couple.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because it looks awesome. You get pictures like this. Don't worry about them. All you have to worry about is that face that's parallel.
Parallel to their
okay?
lens.
Wherever they go. Okay? And then help them up off the ground.
And
or down from
what
the
they do. Thank them for their work.
But this doesn't mean that you're the only ones having this issue. This is really cool. You look like a zombie too.
I know.
That's cool. This doesn't mean that you're the only one that they're the only ones who can play with the level. Feel free to play with levels too. Get on the ground. Get up on a rock. Get under somebody's legs. That was so much fun, actually.
That's really cool.
This is where you can turn your back to the audience, okay? But remember, we're wanting...
It's still telling a story.
It's still telling a story. You're getting gaps here. He's doing a great job getting that gap in this area, okay? Does that make sense? So even if you're not seeing a face, we still need those other things to happen. But be brave. Try these things out. Get with your friends and be like, cosplay photo shoot. Let's do it.
Let's just
and go to the
practice
park.
at home.
Seriously. And you'll see what you're doing, and that's the time where you can play with these kinds
My
of
God, it
levels.
feels really funny to lean this way, you guys, but it looks so good. Okay. And then you're laughing there at home. So when you get to the con, you already have that muscle memory. So if someone says, hey, can I take a picture? You already know what it feels like because you've done it. You go, boom.
Practice.
You know, and it's perfect, whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Facial expression! So facial expression and why it's so important. I love it. This is like our friends that it's Will Wheaton.
Right, I got that.
Will Wheaton
Felicia Day.
and Felicia Day. And so we were let's just get to it. Why facial expression is so important. Click it. Facial expression gives more ways to tell what the person is thinking, feeling, or their motivation more than any other gesture or use of body. We're sign language interpreters, okay? That's what we do by day. We know a lot when it comes to facial expression and gestures and moving your body.
And most of it's conveyed through the eyes and the eyebrows.
So,
And that's something we're going to talk about more in a minute, how you can get many different emotions and still have a presentable face with eyes that you can see by changing up the eyebrows.
So, many years ago, we'd do this. Joe, can I take a picture of you?
Sure.
This is how she'd want to
I have
smile.
big cheeks and my eyes get really squinty.
Okay?
I smile.
That it happens. Okay? So we want to avoid this kind of thing and still get the facial expression, the character's thoughts, feelings, and motivation across. So it can really make or break a photo. So if we're looking here, Kaylee over here, looking sarcastic. Mary Poppins over here, looking stern, okay? And then you got Rapunzel and Flynn, okay?
The smolder.
With the smolder.
Now, look at all of these. The eyebrows are different, the mouths are different, the head tilt is different, but the eyes are all wide open. That is the biggest thing. When she started doing research and then teaching me how to open up my eyes, my pictures got so much better. No matter what expression you're doing. If you're angry, if you're pissed, if you're aloof, if you're happy, if you're sly, if you're sexy,
you're a mean
open
character,
your eyes.
Okay? If you're that mean character, if you actually look mean in your photo, you're either going to look psychotic or you're going to just look like you don't want to be there. And it's not necessarily what you want to go across. So sometimes you got to think more like sly. If it's a character that's completely badass, you want, I'm going to totally kick your butt. Okay?
But those
As
eyes
opposed
are wide
to
open.
kick your butt, you know?
Then you're going to lose your eyes.
You lose the eyes for one thing, and for two, you look like you don't necessarily want your picture taken at that moment.
All right, so everyone, let's practice.
Cool.
Take a look at these really quick. And then what I want you to do is close your eyes.
Not right now.
Hold on. No one's going to look at you.
No.
You're going to look at yourself, and you're going to look at...
You're going to look up here.
You're going to look up here. No one else is going to look at you.
Okay.
So, you can do weird things with your face, and you don't need to get embarrassed because no one else is looking at you.
So,
okay?
yeah, use your vowels.
Try it.
It's going to, you can get all of these and so many more just by changing your mouth shape. Now, when we're talking about A, we're not talking about A.
Although that could be fun.
That could be fun. But that's not exactly what I was thinking about for this. So you want to drop your jaw. If you've taken choir at all, reach back into those memories of choir and drop your jaw a little bit. It's not A, it's A. Yeah? E is not E.
It's more like French.
You're looking like that emoji that's like, you know? So you want it more like French. Ye. Ye. Yeah? I. O. Obvious what expression this one would do, right?
Surprise.
Oh. And it's a small O. It's not like, oh. It's just a tiny little O. Oh.
And you can even breathe in on that.
Yeah. And
Helps
you.
lighten up your eyes and everything.
And you makes your lovely little pouty face. All those girls taking selfies, duck face. Don't do duck face. Do you.
Do you?
Do you. Do you. Be you. And do you. Okay? So let's try it. Let's try A. 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 E. But remember, said E, it's E. 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 Okay? I. Yeah. You feel a little silly, but that's okay. It's okay, it helps. O. Oh. Yeah? Cool. And your eyebrows going up really helps that, okay? And you. Having that small little gap in between your lips is doing that muscle, that not pushing your muscle thing. Even with your lips. It's opening it a little bit so your lips look really full.
Let's try it really quickly with the eyebrows. So that the vowels is a great way to do things with your mouth if you don't know what to do. Now, practice with the eyebrows. We all naturally know what our eyebrows want to do when we think of emotion.
Yes.
But we always make our eyes squint or manipulate and change with it. This time, focus on keeping the eyes wide open. Just change the eyebrows, the mouth, the movement of the body. So whatever you do, keep those eyes open. And if you need to close and then open, do that. So, close your eyes. And I want you to, when you open, I want you to be surprised. And open. Good. Now I want you to do scared. Eyes wide open.
Playing with it.
Now sly, sneaky, but eyes wide open. You can maybe cock one eyebrow, but those eyes are still wide open.
Yeah?
Now aloof. This is the biggest thing. I'm a tough guy. I'm aloof. I don't need to... Now, we want to do this, lean back, right? But our chin is back, our face is back. It's weird. So do that, but then bring your head a bit forward and open those eyes. Just keep your eyebrows looking aloof. Right?
Yeah? Good.
Yay!
Good job. That's okay. So now, posing for male characters. And if female cosplayers in here cross-play at all, and you play male characters as well, this goes for you. Guys, you're going to be posing just a smidge different than the girls that we've talked about. Good, Chloe. So, guys, we were talking about 45 for girls. Not so much for guys. Make it more like a 25.
But still not straight on.
You could go straight on, but it's really hard. 25 is just a little bit better. You're still getting that slim look, okay? But guys, they have their chest out more. They want to see more of the chest instead of being here. You're being here, right? Now, especially girl cosplayers, careful of your hands. So now I'm standing like a guy, but my hands are
still like a girl.
My hands are still
Most
like
guys
a girl.
don't do this. Most guys make the fist.
Yeah.
What time you took that off? I was waiting for you to get annoyed by it.
Okay? It's the difference between boom or girl, right? As opposed to guy. I changed my shoulders a little bit, okay? I changed from going way back here to just down. Or, if you're like me and you're a girl trying to cosplay a guy, guess
and
what?
You have a lot of chest.
Smaller things go in the back.
Because whatever is farthest forward,
just a
looks bigger on the
smidge,
camera.
and it works really well. Does that mean my posture of being standing straight and tall is gone?
Nope, my
No.
neck's still elongated, my shoulders are still down.
Yeah?
Yep. Right?
Arms folded. Girls,
Girls,
check
we
it out.
tend to do this.
This is not what we're doing. You could, but
To
mostly
lock ourselves in. Guys are usually tend to be more like this.
he's doing it right now.
Kind of
Okay? Yeah. It helps. Okay? So, guys, hands in pockets can work, and you do get your gaps and stuff. I would say put
better to
a
see more
thumb.
of your hand.
Better to see more of your hand. Put a thumb, and you're getting more of the hand so we can see more of your body. If you don't, it kind of looks like Wow,
Hands
he
with
has no
monster.
hands. That's really weird. Yeah. So
sorry.
that's okay. Go back one. You're good. Right there. So group photos. Helpful hints with group photos.
I was
Yes.
just going to make a comment. You're
Yes.
talking about crossing your R's.
Yeah.
This doesn't work for
Yeah.
guys.
Yep. Because you're pushing
This
the
won't
boobs
look.
up.
This won't
So
work
you
for
just
guys
lay them on
'cause-
top.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're creating a bustier
Yeah.
for yourself.
We tend to do that as ladies.
So put them right over the top of them, and you'll be good. Good. Thanks for
All right.
pointing out. Group photos. So this goes for 2 people to 20 people. Okay. Obviously we're having a lovely little shawarma Last Supper going on here. We'll talk about how we did this in a second. So, first of all, you need to know, cheat your face. What we mean when we say cheat your face is you're not going to actually look at your opponent. Because guess what? You can see my hair, and like that's
And
it,
the camera
right?
can't. Yeah.
Also, can you see the whites of her eyes? Not really. Yes, whites.
We're also
Irises,
cutting off
no.
my entire body, and all you get is a big arm.
Okay? So, what we want to do is cheat our body, still face our head roughly in that area, but don't even look at our person. Look past them. That way we're getting colors, iris colors, okay? You don't want to look like someone possessed in Poltergeist, where you have like white eyes.
Yeah.
So, you're going to want to look past. You're going to want to look past them. And it still looks like you are looking at this person. They're not looking at each other. Only if you look at that picture for a long period of time can you see that they're not looking at each other.
But first, when you look at
But
it,
when you
most
first
people
look at it,
pictures for just
You're
2
like,
seconds.
oh, stand up, right?
There's another reason why this works. If we're this close to each other, and even if we're doing the angle thing and looking correctly and cheating our bodies out, it's nice, but it's not very dynamic. Back up and lean. Then it's far more interesting, right?
Makes sense? Oh, don't worry. So, now, this doesn't mean this, necessarily. What if Grell and Sebastian, and we're doing this lovely thing, and I want to look up at Sebastian. I'm
And I
not
wanna look
actually
down at
going to
Grell.
look up at Sebastian. Because usually I'm like this compared to her. And I do this. Guess what's in front?
That's another thing. She's bending her knees to get lower. That's another thing you could totally do.
So, instead of doing this, because chin, right, still need to be parallel, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to look there.
And I'm going to look there.
And it still looks like we're looking at each other. Yes? And you can still see eyes. Yeah? So cheat your face. All right. If you're going with the group and you're going to a con, get with each other beforehand, even if it's like right before you go on the con floor, because guess what? Everybody loves group photos. They're like, oh, there's like 8 of you! This is amazing! I want a picture. Now, if you want a picture, then you spend, okay, should I stand
Over here, and then you go
You're
over
gonna
there,
stand
and
here.
it takes forever.
And the person's like, well, I don't want a picture now. I mean,
So
I'm
plan
not
it out
gonna
ahead
wait
of time.
20 minutes, okay? Plan it out ahead of time. Get 1 or 2 photos, pose ideas before you get on there. You don't want every picture that comes back to be the exact same photo.
And if you think of like 15 different poses, that's fantastic. You're not going to remember
No.
all of them. If
No.
you're doing a professional shoot, yeah. But if you're just walking around con floor, think of like 2.
So Oron up here. The reason this works is we're going small to tall, or you can go tall to small.
The goal for this is symmetry.
Symmetry.
It's like the
All of those
school
arms.
photo.
All of those arms
The
are
exact
right in the
same
same place.
angle. You don't have one person
we
here,
practice
one person
that.
here.
There's a reason, okay? Down here,
The goal is asymmetry, lack of symmetry. You want highs and lows and different
got
levels
this
all
one
over
on,
the place.
tall, Haruhi short. Now look, I'm not that much different in height-wise normally. I'm making myself look shorter.
So Honey Senpai's
So Honey Senpai's shorter than Mori Senpai, who is
I'm on my
her
toes.
toes to get
And
this
she
shot.
is bending down, so
Okay.
we look more dynamic.
Also, I'm sticking that booty way back. So
'cause
you're
you
not
don't
getting
want it
any
to
of it.
show up.
Okay?
Now for this one, we recreated the shawarma shoot at the end of the Avengers.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's Deadpool filling in for Hawkeye there.
Yeah.
And we actually had someone with the
Photographer.
we had the photographer, and then we had her home in this room actually. Carrie photographed it.
Yeah.
And then the two Angelas over here, they looked at the original
reference
shot on
shot.
the iPhone. They're like, okay, you angle your chin down a little bit, and you go here, and it makes it work. So
Yeah, they're the ones who can sit there, and it's the same with the Last Supper shoot that we did. There was someone going, okay, your hand needs to be down just a little bit more. So-and-so, lean back more. If you get that, it's going to make your recreation photo a lot closer. Okay? So, at the beginning of the shot, at the beginning of this panel, we had this lovely photographer right at the very beginning of the panel. Now, you probably looked at it and went, oh, it's a dude, and he's got a camera, oh my gosh, okay?
And I want a picture, but I don't know what to do.
I hope that now you guys have an idea of what you can do. So when you see this guy, you can just remember, I gotta have gaps. Create movement. Use that facial expression.
Open wide eyes.
Thinking tall. Okay, posture, thinking very tall.
Face
Practice.
parallel to the camera.
Just practice what you need to do. Now, you're seeing all of our good photos. Do you know how many of these photos
That
not
we took
so
that are not
amazing
appearing.
that aren't up here, okay?
And that's the truth
That's
of
okay.
it. Any
It's the
photographer will
truth.
tell you, you take 100 photos, 2 of them are good. That's
okay.
fine.
You got
get
2.
those 2, it's worth it.
Exactly. And
Wait,
above all,
first.
please,
Fine.
it's fun. Have fun. Please, you're here, you're in cosplay to be with your friends, to hang out, to get the photo you want, and to show off the lovely cosplay that you either built, acquired, or made. You might as well show it off in the best way possible. So, we'll pause right here, okay?
Oh, I think we have one more.
Oh, do we have one more
Yeah.
slide? Yeah, one more slide. Just to let you know. If you like this panel, please let us know, okay? Grab that survey. Do the survey, please. Go onto our Facebook page. It's Lovelies Cosplay at Facebook, okay? Move out of the way so they can take photos of that. Also, feel free to come up and talk to us if you have questions about whatever, any ideas that you have for things, anything like that, okay? So, thank you for this.
We're okay.
That was it. So, here's what we want to do now.
This
We got
is
all
a
of this
lot
information.
of information. It's really overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember everything at once. And that's why I do when I'm at home, I practice
Toes
legs
to head.
toes
Head to
to
toe.
head, and then go. And then relax, and then get right back in that same pose. And then relax, and then right back in the same pose. You develop the muscle memory for that, so when you get to the con, you already know what it's like.
So, if you want to practice, if you want to have our opinions or help you out in any way, now's the time.
And
We're
we
gonna
also
head,
have a lot of photographers here
Yes.
right now who are totally awesome. And
we're gonna head right into this area in this little lounge alcove thing right here.
right by the elevators.
Okay? And we're gonna take some photos.
Gonna
So if you want
practice.
photos of your cosplay right now, if you want to practice this kind of thing, if you want to go over any of what we talked about, if you have any questions, feel free to come by the area and practice this with us. Thank you guys. We've been Lovelies
guys.
Cosplay. Okay.